In our morning round, stress and your health. A new survey this morning finds that teenagers are more stressed out than adults, if you can believe that. 27% of teens say they are extremely stressed during the school year, and that's compared to only 21% of grown-ups. The bad news here, teen stress tends to stick around through adulthood, and chronic stress can take a serious toll on your heart. Dr. Narula is a cardiologist at Lenox Hill Hospital in New York and joins us at the table. Good to see you again, Dr. Narula. I think most people already know that stress is bad for your health. What specifically do you want us to know about the damage that it causes?
Stress causes damage to all the organs in the body, not just the heart. And what happens is that when you're stressed out, you release two things. One is cortisol, which is a stress hormone, and the other one is hormones like adrenaline, epinephrine, or norepinephrine. These circulate throughout the body. They damage the blood vessels, they raise the blood pressure, raise the heart rate, can increase cholesterol levels, cause plaque disruption to the arteries of the heart and the brain, which can lead to heart attack and stroke, and they generally increase inflammation. So the problem is that we're turning on this stress response in our daily lives all the time, and then we're not turning it off when we should be.
This survey is interesting to hear that more than a quarter of teens are extremely stressed out. What effect does this have on younger people?
So it would have the same effect on younger people, except now you would be seeing damage to the lining of the blood vessels at an even earlier age. And when that happens and you have elevated blood pressure, then you're just increasing your cardiovascular risk over time.
How do you turn it off?
That's a really great question, and that's the question that I get asked in my office all the time. I think it's a very individualized thing, and so what works for one person doesn't necessarily work for someone else. There's lots of different techniques people can try, from exercise to yoga, meditation, deep breathing, having social support, people you can talk to, having an animal, and generally just keeping a positive attitude and finding a sense of humor for situations.
Valentine's Day is coming up on Friday, and you say it's true you can actually die of a broken heart, emotional?
Yes, it is unfortunately true. There is something called a broken heart syndrome. It actually was first characterized in Japan, and it's called Takotsubo cardiomyopathy, because the heart ends up looking like the shape of an octopus trap. And so Takotsubo is a name for octopus trap in Japanese. And basically what happens is when you're stressed, you have this surge of hormones that I described before that can be toxic to the heart muscle and essentially cause stunning of the muscle, so that the front part of the heart, the apex, does not contract very well. And people can have heart failure from this and end up with chest pain and EKG changes and all the problems that would simulate a heart attack.
And we always hear some personalities are more prone to stress. I always hear about type A personalities.
Yes. So type A was...
You know anybody like that?
I know a lot of people. Almost every doctor has type A. So type A was originally described in the 1950s, and the idea was, could this lead to increased cardiovascular events if people had this personality? And the first research studies showed that it might actually have some influence on that. Later research studies were more inconclusive. What we're looking at now is actually type D personality, a distressed personality.
Boring people? No.
People who have negative and get at the affect and then are socially inhibited, so they can't express their emotions. And that may actually be the most damaging of all.
We just need to be aware. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Tara. Always good to see you.
Thank you.